Go ahead.
Okay, give me a second. Okay.
Hello.
Hola, Dylan. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm fine. Where are you right now? It's very early.
I am in New York.
Well, yeah, I imagine that. So
Yes.
we're in a new season, FBI Most Wanted. Tell me, what drew you to this project?
It really was Dick Wolf. You know, I was doing Law and Order Organized Crime for a couple of seasons. We developed a great relationship there. They really liked what I did on the show. They were looking to make some changes on FBI Most Wanted. I started watching the show and I thought it was compelling and intriguing. But I thought, well, you know, what could I do with it? And I really wanted to bring my own sense of humor to it and passion and determination to it. And I thought, you know, the way I worked on FBI and when I worked on the organized crime, I thought they let me be me, which they did. And so it really was a perfect fit because I knew Dick trusted me to come onto the show. And it was also time for me to play a good guy. I had been playing some bad. I was like, okay, I can't do that for too long because then you can't come back.
Yeah, that's always nice to play a good guy. But Special Agent Remy Scott, you were playing him since 2022. And we've seen many things, many aspects of his career, of his life, but we still have questions, many questions. Where is it happening on this fifth season of FBI Most Wanted? Are we going to get the answers that we're finally want to know?
Probably not.
Yeah.
You know, you want to keep it going. But he's a compelling character because you know, he has very little personal life.
Mm-hmm.
He really is all about the job. It's all about the case. He's all about the team. He's driven by that most of the time. I don't think that he wants to deal with, you know, he sort of has blinders on in a way.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to deal with his emotional life so much. You'll see him go to therapy, so he is trying to, but at the same time, there are a lot of walls up. You know, it's a slow evolution for Remy Scott in terms of his inner life, but in terms of him being an FBI agent, he's all in.
Yeah, I think we have trouble with the connection. But I want to know for you, what is so interesting about this kind of genre, this kind of the policemen and the investigations and the FBI that is drawing so many tension and so many people to. We have 3 different FBI spin-offs. Why is so appealing to people to get to know these stories? And for you as an actor and as a person, what do you think draws the people to this kind of shows?
Well, I find that, you know, most people watch all 3. They'll sit down and watch them all together, and this has created a night of television, and that's proved to be true. That, you know, it's the most watched night on Tuesday nights here in America. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a satisfaction. People, you know, the first FBI deals mostly with New York. The second FBI International is obviously Europe, and then Most Wanted is the worst of the worst criminals. So although they are similar, they are very different in scope. Mm-hmm. But I think people really get a lot of satisfaction in watching all 3 because it's a great night of television. It's 3 hours where you can just sort of like let it all go, watch these crimes unfold, have some kind of resolution, and then finally justice in it all. And you feel like, oh, the world's a better place after all.
Yeah. There is some talk about the accuracy of the events that we see on the show. For you, how it is to get the scripts and see the stories and imagine this probably happened. This was real. That must be very like confusing in your head. Like, this is something that happened and I'm gonna recreate it. Many things that are like you don't even think about it.
I mean, every time you open up the internet, you see some other crazy crime, right? So it's not that far-fetched, actually.
Yeah.
And every time I open it up and I see these crimes, I'm like, oh my God. So, you know, what we're doing on the show sometimes feels like it is fiction, but really it isn't. Because there's so many weird things that happen, and there's so much crime, and there's so much darkness that, you know, there's a reason this show exists.
Yeah, and that was people watch it because it's very intriguing to know these stories and to, as I said, to think this might happen or this probably did happen to someone, or to get the notion that, okay, this have happened and I know now what to do to get away from it. Sometimes it's that way also.
That's right.
So yeah, and that's to wrap it up in some sense of the story. So you're doing many things in your life. Your connection with TV and cinema became many years ago. The practice put you on a spot that you are known worldwide, and you had a very interesting connection with Clint Eastwood. Tell me about that connection with Clint Eastwood that opened you doors.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, oh my God, the other day, I don't know where this came from, but I looked up his age in that movie. I am now the same age.
Really?
I am now the same age as he was in that movie. And that was just like mind-blowing to me. I just couldn't believe that all that time had passed, and now suddenly I was the same age as him in the movie. It was a great experience.
Well, we managed to look good. That's the best part.
That's good. You know, that was one of the rare experiences in anyone's career where the script was perfect, the cast was perfect, the director was perfect, the shooting of the movie was perfect, the catering, everything about that movie was absolutely perfect from the first day to the last. That's never happened again. It was just like butter, the whole thing. And I think the outcome of the movie is fantastic. It's still one of the great movies of all time. So I'm really proud of it. Working with Clint, I learned a lot from him. He's a true movie star, and there's not many left in the world. And there's only a few actors that are bigger than the camera. Luckily, I've known a few in my life, like Clint Eastwood and Paul Newman. So I've been very fortunate to work with some of the greats, and see how they do it.
Yeah, you've been in movies, you've been in series. What's the difference that you find out portraying these characters? In series, you get to know a little bit more the character and keep it alone. And in movies, yeah, you do a movie and you wrap it up and that's it. But what is the connection that you have with your characters and the stories that you portray?
Really, it's character work. You know, every character that you do, you have to sort of like build it from the ground up. You know, where were they born? What were the experiences in their life? What was their mother and father like? What is their trauma? What is their need? What is their want? All of those things you have to sort of fill in when you're doing the character, and every single one is different. That's the great thing about being an actor. You know, you get to live 100 lives in one life. You're not just one person. You're a cowboy. You're a doctor. You're an FBI agent. You're a criminal. You know, all of those things. You have to approach every single one differently, and really sort of create the puzzle and figure out what this person is. That's the great thing about being an actor. That's what I've never lost. You know, by the time people get to my age, they've lost that passion for acting.
Yeah.
And for me, knock wood, I'm still intrigued by the process of creating a character.
Yeah, and always is like a learning experience, getting to know many different lives and embodying them and just portraying and being someone different. That's nice about acting. But also about your personal life, something that I like about that I read about you, and I saw some of your work. You're also a photographer. You like photography.
Yeah.
That's the personal life of Dylan. What about the photography? What is so great to you to connect with that media?
Really, I think I'm an artist, and when you're an artist, you need to create. You have no choice.
Yeah.
So if I'm not acting, I am taking pictures. I love street photography, walking down the street and saying, "Hey, can I take your picture?" I love that. I love getting involved with people, talking with people, and taking the picture. I love writing. Writing also fills me up in a way. Whatever it is, I have to create because it's in my DNA to create. I have to. I can't. That's what I suppose that's what an artist is they have this overwhelming need to create.
Yeah, of course. Well, Dylan, thank you for your time. Invite all the people to watch this new season in Universal Channel and Universal app of FBI Most Wanted. And can you give us a hint of what we're going to get, or we just have to watch to wait?
You are going to see lots of action. You're going to see lots of crime. You're going to see lots of passion. And most importantly, you're going to be really satisfied watching FBI Most Wanted.
Well, thank you very much for your time. You're welcome to Panama and Central America anytime. We'll wait you here. Not with those stories. Happy stories, maybe.
That's right. That's right.